right, well, we're here at CRS 2014, sitting down with the cast members of the upcoming new series, The Private Lives of Nashville Wives. How are you, ladies? How's your CRS week going so far?
We're having a blast. It's going good. Yeah, we're having fun.
Okay. For folks that are still getting to know you, why don't you give us each of you give us a quick little introduction background on yourselves? Who wants to start?
My better half? I'm Betty Malo, also known as Betty Bad. I have a jewelry business and I'm an oil painter. I'm married to Terrell Malo of the Mavericks. I've been here for 22 years and it's been a great, fun ride doing the show.
Hi, I'm Sarah Davidson, and I moved to Nashville about 10 years ago to sing and write music, and went to Belmont University, got an internship on the row, and then got my first publishing deal after a couple years of being here, and have been, writing and performing ever since then, and trying to get a record deal, get my songs on the radio, and so yeah, I've just been on the road in a van with my band, and William Morris books us, and we literally play anywhere and everywhere that they will let us in, and to whoever will listen. And yeah, that's kind of my story, and I'm just a writer and a singer.
I'm Jenny Terrell, and I've been in Nashville for 14 years. I'm originally from the Midwest, and I'm a vice president of sales for a leading social commerce company for all of North America. So I travel quite a bit for my job, and my plus one, JT Terrell, keeps it down at home. He is also an entrepreneur, and he owns Music City Tents and Events, which is a large event production company here in Nashville.
Very cool.
Hi, I'm Cassie, and I'm married to Gary Chapman, and that is why I moved here 7 years ago. He's a singer-songwriter. He's mostly known in the Christian world, but he writes country and, scores for movies and all that kind of stuff, so it's interesting around our house.
I bet.
We just adopted a baby girl, and the thing that everybody laughs about is that we're 23 years apart. They don't laugh about it, they poke fun about it. And I'm like, shut up. I'm clearly the older one in the relationship. But, so yeah, he's a new dad again, and we're very involved in a lot of charity work, so that's what we do.
Very good.
I'm Erika Page White. I am married to country singer Brian White, and he's a producer, songwriter. Has been doing CRS for probably 20 years, so it's funny for me to kind of be here today. I've been an actress my whole life, became a stay-at-home mom 9 years ago, and moved here to Nashville from Los Angeles, and have decided to maybe go back into the acting world and figure out kind of what I want to do with my life right now. So right now I'm a stay-at-home mom, but I'm getting back into acting, and I used to be on One Life to Live, which was a series on ABC, and lived in New York and LA doing acting, and now I'm kind of putting my fingers back into the pot.
I'm Anna Fernandez. I'm Betty's identical twin. I am the older twin. She moved here about 18 years ago, following her husband, and then I followed her up. 22 years, I'm sorry. We're very close. Initially, I was the only single one of the group. I'm not gonna spoil any of our secrets. And we're having the time of our life.
Honey.
Well, it's fantastic. Now, The Private Lives of Nashville Wives is scheduled to premiere on TNT this coming Monday, February 24th. Are you ladies excited? Are you nervous? A little of both? What's going through your minds?
Yeah, I think it's just it's exciting for all of us because we're going to get to see into each other's lives because we have filmed separately a lot. So really when I watch, I'm going to be, I already know what I did, and so it'll be fun to relive that, but also really interesting to see what all of the individual women did on their own. So I think that that's going to be a really exciting thing for all of us.
So it'll be a first time for you ladies
Yeah,
as well.
exactly.
And
Yeah.
we've seen episode 1, and it is available. I mean, you can watch that now.
And
Teaser.
the show is beautiful. Like it stands for me separate than all the other type of housewives show in that it's very real America. It's real characters. It's real issues and problems that I think everybody can relate to. It's a tangible life, as opposed to like the other shows that they're just going on lunches and things like that. This is really goes into our real lives.
Like family dynamic, it shows a lot of that, and that's
Yeah.
Very interesting. It's not glamorous. Everybody thinks it is, and it's not so much.
You see us taking out the trash and doing the dishes.
Yes.
And you see our husbands.
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, it's
Some
more
people-
interesting than that, Betty. Make it sound more interesting. We want people to tune in.
And some people, you know, being a show about Nashville, our husbands that are married, our husbands are in it quite a lot, and people I have found didn't realize that, and then those of us that have kids, our kids are in it as well.
Well, I'm a nervous wreck.
She's just gonna throw it out there.
I really am nervous. I definitely am an extroverted person. Going into this, I wasn't that nervous. Now I'm thinking, oh gosh, did I say something I'm gonna regret? My sister says, Anna, put on your muzzle all the time, and I lost it during filming.
It happens.
It happens
It'll be
at the
fine.
wrong time.
So take us back to the beginning and tell us a little bit about how did this series come to light, and were any of you friends prior to this, or is this all new surroundings and territory for all of you?
We actually joke that Nashville's like 1 degree of separation, so I don't think any of us were friends with the exception, of course, of the twins.
But we weren't friends.
Not at that point.
And the husbands knew each other.
Yeah, but the
Our husbands
husbands
have
knew
known
each other, and I think we probably all jumped on Facebook the minute we found out who
Oh, yeah.
was cast alongside of us. And I know I had mutual friends with all of these girls, so I immediately was like, oh, I know her through so and so. So
Yeah.
it was kind of that kind of a relationship.
The one time that the only other person on the show that I ever met was Gary, her husband. We actually were double booked one day to write together. And I showed up and another girl showed up and we're like, you know, we're supposed to write. So we all ended up writing. Gary was in the room and he was actually at the
This is
time
my
about to
girlfriend.
propose to Cassie and was telling me all about it and showing me all the pictures. And I was just like, dang, she's good, well, good for you, you know, she's a hottie. Not that he's not like a great guy and so handsome, but I mean, Cassie's just like a catch. Look at her. I mean, she's gorgeous, but like he lucked out. So that really has been my only interaction. And I grew up on Brian's music as well, her husband, Erika. So, you know, there's definitely like a close connection there just through the music business.
And our
for all of
husbands
us.
have known each other for like 20-something years.
Ridiculous, yes.
Her husband used to have a country music show here in Nashville, and so he interviewed my husband several times and actually presented him in Las Vegas with a bass boat one year. And so that's been kind of funny to relive and go like search for the videos and be
But
like,
that was the week that you
look,
professed
yes,
that you professed
yes.
your love to each other.
He left me to go get this
All
boat in
over
Vegas,
Vegas.
and that was like the weekend we decided, like, are you in love with me? Am I in love with you? And that was 16 years ago.
Wow. Awesome. So with your husbands being involved with the show, what do you think their whole thought process is on this, and how did they react, and were they ready to jump on board, or were they kind of like, I don't know about this?
Ladies, I'm going to stay out of this one.
I'm staying out of this one too because although we are the Mavericks, Anna and I of the show, and I'm married to one of the Mavericks, he was on the road the whole summer. Thank God.
I'll speak up and say that I'm from the one person who's kind of like the scratch on the disc. My husband's not in the music business, and so we have a great partnership, and he was thrilled to do this. And he's like my biggest fan. He's like terribly supportive. But I do think it's interesting watching all of y'all's husbands, you know, on the show because the limelight has shifted, right? So these women have been supporting their husbands all these years, all of them, and you know, with the exception of Anna and I, it must be an interesting pill to swallow for the boys. All of a sudden, having to
For the record,
Girls
Raul loved
share
it.
the
Anytime he could get in
limelight.
front of that camera, he was in front of the camera when he was here. He and
He
their
is
boys.
fabulous on camera. He's so
He steals it.
energetic
Get out
and
of the room.
dynamic.
But they
So
voted every
fair.
Friday for a year. It was very interesting as a family. Every single Friday they would vote and say, should I do the show? Should we all do the show? And they voted to go for it.
Now I get to use that. Don't complain now. We
Right,
all voted for a
that's right.
year.
Without giving too much away, what can fans expect from the show? Like, if you want to convey one thing about the show, what would it be?
I would say that it's real life stuff. You know, I think we all have dealt with real life issues, whether it comes to dealing with, you know, a husband that is always on the road, or, you know, me being out on the road with my band and going through relationship changes, and, you know, having a young baby, being, you know, working hard. Cassie, you know, is going through has just adopted a baby. Erika getting back in the game. Anna being an independent woman. We all have our own stories that are real storylines about real life things that people will, I feel like, really identify with and be able to latch on to. And we are so different, but we also are not just women that, like Betty said, we don't just lunch. We have depth and we have values and rooting and faith. And, you know, it's a journey in finding out who you are, but I think that we're all really women that desire to go on that journey and are willing to be vulnerable and open about that journey.
And as far as viewers, you know, one other thing that I find interesting is I'm a big fan of those other shows that, you know, people watch, Housewives type shows.
We all are.
But what I find so intriguing about this show is that I feel like Nashville is the main character, and we're just the ancillary characters supporting. You know, we're the supporting cast. And so it is really interesting to watch everybody's stories kind of weave in and out of the Nashville culture and to see how that all plays out. And we hope that America is interested in Nashville and sees it for all the wonderful things that we see it. So I think that's one thing that viewers can expect.
Yes,
And we all have different lives. We all don't
culture.
have the
It's very
same.
musical, very artistic, very cultural.
Another beautiful thing is our conflict resolution. Unlike other shows where, you know, glasses of wine are thrown and tables are thrown over, we are able to agree that we're all different, agree to disagree, and move forward in a very nice, womanly, graceful way, and be able to table things and leave it behind us when it's over and grow from those experiences.
That's how you think it happened, but you haven't seen it played back yet.
That's how we remember
Very
it.
womanly and graceful. I wasn't there that night.
Betty and I used to get in terrible fights, and now our fights we talk them out a lot more, and you know, we're all very, very different, but we're able to recognize those differences and move forward and love each other for what empowers each individual woman.
It was therapy, period.
I know we bonded through this whole experience because we didn't know each other at the beginning, and so it's like all of our little lunches that we've gotten to take, like, and just have together, or like little outings that we've been able to spend quality time together now. Now we've bonded through a whole nother way. That's like, you know, you and I, like, we didn't probably,
When I first met Erika,
click
I
at
was
first,
like,
but
oh
now
my
it's like we
gosh.
get each other.
I don't ever want to hang out with Erika ever again. And it was so strange for me because I closed my mouth and started listening more than I talked and let that book unfold. And because of that process, now we're very, very close. I will never judge a book by its cover ever again. That was my lesson.
We've
Amen.
empowered each other big time.
Yeah. I mean, that was one of the biggest, sorry, I know I'm long-winded with this, but like just the way that each woman has really supported each other. I mean, I personally went through a lot of changes in the summer, and I didn't expect coming into a group of really strong, opinionated women to get along so well or even really connect. I mean, I felt like I would connect, but I didn't feel like on the level that it happened. I mean, these women really came to me in outrageous support, whereas I would not expect that. You know, I wouldn't, on camera and off camera, you know, so I've gained friendships with each and every one of them. And, you know, the show is about a bunch of strong women working through relationships and empowering each other and empowering each other by supporting each other, you know? So,
Unconditionally.
Right.
Just completely unconditionally.
One
I
time Betty
mean that. I
mentioned to me,
really
I need to
do.
get my backbone back, and back then I didn't know. 6 months ago I was like, what are you talking about? And I texted her just recently and I said, oh my gosh, I understand what you're talking about now. I'm getting stronger, I'm getting my backbone back, thank you.
And to see that, like, as a mother like her, you begin to feel guilty, like, am I there enough for my children? Am I doing the right thing? And you really begin to self-doubt yourself and question everything about you. And to see, especially with Erika, get that backbone back, it's like, yes, it's satisfaction. It's like a
Blossomed.
tangible satisfaction.
That's fantastic. Now, the show premieres on Monday, February 24th on TNT.
9 p.m. Central.
After Dallas, season 3 premiere.
What are your plans to watch the pilot episode? Are you going to watch it all together? Are you guys going to be separate?
The fabulous Anna.
Anna
He's
Fernandez.
throwing us a party.
Because I know how to throw a party.
Yeah.
She
The
does.
party
Let's
girl
have
of
a
the group
party.
is throwing the party.
We're going to watch it together. We're inviting all of our local friends, even people that just want to be part of that first episode, and we'll be tweeting.
Live tweeting.
Experiencing the whole show together, and what comes after the party.
And then finally, we are here at CRS. It's a week all about country radio. What is one song that comes on the radio that you girls just have to crank up?
Oh,
Brian.
Actually, that is. I have to crank up that song every time I hear it. Not even my mom, who's 79 years old, she heard Sarah's song. It opens the show, and it's like a woman's anthem.
Yeah.
Yeah, the TNT and Evolution approached me about writing the title track of the show because they were looking for it, and I'm a writer, and the story that I heard was, why are we looking in Nashville for a singer and the song when we have a singer and a songwriter that can do this? So, they asked me if I would want the opportunity, and I was like, hell to the yeah. And sat down and wrote a song called Bright Lights Big City and turned it in, and everybody just really loved it, and I was just so excited that it was the perfect fit for all of us. And I really, when I sat down to write it, I just kind of thought about like, okay, what would it be like? And I actually missed a lot of the girls' nights because I was on the road playing shows. But whenever I could just envision these women, and they came out to a show of mine in Chicago, and I'm like, and it's like, we got our high heels on, we got the music bumping, we got the windows down. When you step out, you'll see us coming. And it's just like watching these girls, and it's just like Bright Lights Big City, talking about just a night on the town. But it kind of has lyrics too that talk about just our values and whatever. So I'm really happy that they gave me the opportunity, and then it just worked out. And yeah, now I have the title track, and it's going to be an exclusive bonus on my EP. That's out March 25th. Let me plug my album dropping.
Yeah.
And it'll be exclusively a bonus track through Walmart, but you can also get the full EP at iTunes and Walmart as well. So.
Fantastic.
If I hear George Jones right now on the radio, I'll crank that
Oh,
up.
yeah. No, that's some real.
Like, he is like, there's just, we really appreciate true country music, and really, we love Casey Musgraves too, and
I'm
and
obsessed
the
with
new
Casey
stuff. But we're
Musgraves.
real.
And the Mavericks.
And
we love
Charlie
the Mavericks.
Worsham.
The Mavericks.
And Brian White.
And Gary
Brian
Chapman.
White and Gary Chapman.
And Gary
There's
Chapman
all
and
this.
Brian White.
Fantastic. Well, thank you girls so much for taking the time to catch up. We wish you the best of luck with
Thank
the show, and we can't wait to tune in.
Thank you so much, Rose.
Thank you.
Thank
Supporting
you.
us.